That was fabulous. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
And now we have you in real life here.
Good to see you. Good to be with you here in Boston.
Yeah, and people are familiar with you from the Rebuilt series, you and Tom. You did that beautiful series. And now you're going to talk to us about this new segment. But before we go there, I do want to talk about your new church. And
thanks.
I just was so impressed. I mentioned to you earlier that, you know, I love my ride into Watertown, and I see the church steeples, particularly St. Patrick's, you know, breaking into the skyline.
Right.
But your new church, this bold cross breaks into the skyline.
Right.
So tell us about the new church. You're not even in there just several months, right?
Several months.
Yeah.
We got in there in September. We're still working out the kinks, got some growing pains going on. It's a very contemporary building on the exterior, and it's meant to be accessible to unchurched people who might feel uncomfortable in a traditional setting. But once you get inside and you approach the altar, all the traditional elements are there.
Great. Yeah, we saw your beautiful tabernacle in
Right,
the segment.
that was on the background of the segment.
Yeah. Now, you're a busy guy. You have a very active parish.
Sure, we
So,
do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, lots of things going on
And of
there.
course, this time of year more than ever.
Sure, sure. So what made you decide to start recording Spread the Word?
Well, that's really a snippet from my weekend homily.
Okay.
And so we thought it might be easy for us to do a segment like that. And it just give people an opportunity to reflect a little bit more on the Sunday reading, which is really meant to influence our whole week.
Sure. Sure. It's interesting, too. I remember reading through your books, and there's some here on the living room coffee table for Rebuilt, how your whole team gets involved in the message. So tell us a little bit about that process and then how it gets boiled down to spread the word.
We gather together some of our staff every single week, and we talk about the weekend readings. And we've got a couple of moms there. We've got a couple of dads there. We've got some young adults there as well. And they bring those different perspectives on what's relevant to them, what message they need to hear. And then we start developing that message through the week for my weekend homily.
Wow.
And we come back again after the weekend and evaluate it.
Right. It's sort of like a group Lectio Divino there, with
Nice, yeah.
you know, that comes
Right.
together, and then you share with your whole parish community, your wider community. It's still really difficult, though, in that short. It's hard to boil it down. So
It's
how does
very
that work
hard.
for you?
It's very hard. It comes down to what do you want them to know and what do you want them to do? And if we can answer that question, then we know that we've got a message that's worth sharing,
That's
spreading.
great. Yeah, that's great. And so you have a fabulous team that's worked with us, with Becky and Nikki, to get the segments in. And so tell us about the process of recording them and how you see it evolving.
Well, we considered technology to be a really important part of this new church construction, and the ability to prepare those kinds of segments, to broadcast live online all weekend long. It was an important part of what we wanted this new building to be.
Yeah, sure. And it's just so beautiful, you know, and sort of the elevator speech, if you will, of the Sunday Gospel,
Right,
you know, just
yeah.
a really great approach for all of us to incorporate that and to influence our lives and reflect upon what we heard during the Mass, you know.
Exactly, exactly. And as you'll see if you follow along with these segments, this will form part of a series for the season of Lent.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Great.
so we'll have 6 of them coming your way.
We're looking forward to it, that's for sure, because it's a great way, you know, to stimulate and to stay connected with the universal church, for sure. You know, we're all hearing the same readings.
We're all hearing the same readings.
And we're going to live them out just a little bit differently, you know, just a little bit differently. So I told you how impressed I was with the cross, you know.
And you're coming to see us, right?
And I'm hoping to come to see you when I'm in D.C., yeah, for the cable show. So that would be, when I take the light rail from the airport into the Inner Harbor, I always see Timonium on there, and I remember Timonium Tim from your
That's right,
books,
yeah,
you know? So tell us a
exactly.
little bit about the books.
So Rebuild is our story and the story of our parish, and just coming to understand how we can best awaken the faithful, reach the lost, and make church matter in this age of the new evangelization.
So important. It's so important because, you know, there's you know, those who would say, hey, you're an older institution, you know, you've been around too long, you have nothing relevant to say to us, where quite frankly, our message is more relevant than ever. And you've certainly found a way to take new media and take how we process information now and make that accessible to people. That's what the key is.
Exactly, exactly. And we really enjoy, we have a heart for sharing what we've learned with other churches. We're working with churches here in Boston and around the country and even further afield.
Yeah. Yeah, the New Roads community right down the street.
Yeah, New Roads, Father Tom, wonderful people.
They do great work. We love working with them too. So what's next? Then you're going to keep this up. This is great with these shorter segments, and you've got a busy parish, as I mentioned.
We got a busy parish, and I've got my day job. I got to get back to. I got to get back home this afternoon.
Busy weekend
for the weekend.
Yeah, it's got to be all hands on deck for the weekend.
That's right.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, so what website can people visit?
churchnativity.com, and you can see pictures of our new church, and you can learn all about our strategy and what we found works for us, with lots of transferable principles for everybody.
I had a great conversation with Kelly from your team about who's accessing your website and all of that. So definitely folks should check it out. I think you can't help but be impressed with the beautiful new building, but certainly the spirit of Nativity Parish. So check it out. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Thanks.